So almost every day now for the last month. So I don't know, maybe I don't even know if it's up to a month already, but for the last few weeks to last month now, I've been doing 40 push-ups every single day without fail. Okay, not every single day. So I miss maybe 1 or 2 days, but for the most part, for like let's say 90% from the last 2, 3 weeks, 1 month or more. And even if we look at maybe it's at a 6 months range, I've done 40 push-ups like let's say 60 to 70% of the time throughout that span, every single, almost every, not every single month, but just for most of the time. And the reason why I'm telling you this is like I noticed one thing that helps me stay consistent on this, because I'm not somebody that's super consistent. I also struggle with like um, consistency and procrastination and motivation and everything. But one thing that I noticed that has helped me, and even in the past as well, like um, maybe we usually ask me like the way I'm big and everything, do I work out and stuff? And I usually tell them yes and no, because yes, because part of it is genetics and I'm grateful for having this type of genetics. But the other part of it is yes as well, because there was a period in my life that for like almost 6 months to a year, almost every single morning I'll wake up by 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'll do workouts. And it's not just 40 push-ups, like I'll actually do like 1 hour long workout, 30 minute long workout. So it's like what do you think is going to come out of that? But the reason why I'm just saying all this is like, why was I able to be consistent for that period of time? Because consistency is something I struggle with a lot, and I feel like everybody struggles with it. And I now sat down to analyze my life and look back at all those times I was very consistent in whatever thing I was doing. And I was wondering like, why was I consistent during this time? Like what made me consistent at this period of my life? And of course, it's not just one single thing. There are many variables. And maybe I'll even turn this to a series of how to be consistent. But one thing I noticed a lot that helped was having a specific time and a specific place of doing the task. And as simple as it sounds, it's something that helps me a lot. So for the 40 push-ups example, I always tell you, the 40 push-ups, when did I do these 40 push-ups? Immediately I wake up. So once I wake up in the morning, maybe I'll go and take a piece or drink water or whatever. After that, I do 40 push-ups almost immediately. And it's just like the 40 push-ups is tied to me waking up in the morning. As long as I wake up in the morning, I'm always going to wake up in the morning, except obviously I'm going to die, except I die that day. But as long as I wake up in the morning, I'm going to do 40 push-ups, because they are just tied together. I know like the action is tied to wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning and you do 40 push-ups. It's that simple. And that's one thing I noticed made me consistent. It's just because many times we want to do things. Another thing again also is like, I have all these goals I would have showed you, but so adjust this lighting and stuff is harder. So and I was looking at them. So these are even the ones I put here on the wall. So some of them, maybe I'll just show you. So I don't know if you can see them. No, I've scattered my sets. Okay, I think it's good. Yeah. So these are some. So I noticed out of all these goals I have, some of them are a lot more consistent than other ones. And even previously, like the ones of previous months, I usually noticed I was a lot more consistent in many of them than others. And I was always wondering like, why? Why is it that this particular habit I'm consistent? Why this other one I'm not? Like, why is that? And like I said before, many variables, but I noticed that most of these goals that I'm consistent in, there's a particular time, particular place to do it. And it's just like, it's now most starts to become automatic. Just like the workout example, I just know that once I wake up, I do 40 push-ups. Once I wake up, do 40 push-ups, and it just starts to become like a routine thing. It's just almost like, once you wake up, you go and brush your teeth, and you have been very consistent in brushing your teeth for like 60, 70, 80% of your entire life, because once I wake up, before I leave the house, I must brush my teeth. Like, it's that simple. So what I'm trying to say basically is, if you want to be consistent, you give yourself a particular time and a particular place, and if possible, make it like every single day, like the exact same time, exact same place every day. Like, of course, depending on your schedule, it might not be very possible, but if you can do it, it helps a lot. At least it helps me a lot, so I assume it will help you a lot as well. So like, for example, even making these videos, one of the reasons why I'm kind of consistent nowadays in making it is because I usually make it at night once I come back from work, before I go to sleep. I make these videos, and it's just like, it's not necessarily a habit yet, but it will start to be like, just become this thing when I just know, okay, it is 8 o'clock and it's time to make videos. It's 2 a.m. I say 2 a.m. It's 2 p.m. and it's time to read. It's 5 p.m. and it's time to watch or whatever. And you also won't realize, like, in your schools back then, we usually hate on schools a lot. We shit on schools, the education system is nonsense and all that, which is true. But one thing that schools actually did well was create a timetable, because in your school they just, like, everything had a specific time. When it was time for physics, the physics was 8 o'clock, then maths 9:30, then biology 12 o'clock, then break time was 12 to 12:30, then arts was 1 o'clock. Like, there was a specific time, because imagine school there was no time, and the teachers could just come anytime they felt like, and the students could just basically go anywhere they felt like anytime. Like, there will be no order. Like, it just won't work properly. Same thing with the military. I think it's similar to something like that. But, and exactly, if you apply something like that in your life too, as simple as it sounds, as common sense as it sounds, it actually helps a lot. Get a specific time and specific place, and make another thing also is to make the actions as clear as possible. So, for example, now if it's to read for exam, let's assume it's read for, I like using that example a lot. So instead of just saying, read for exam, like, just read, like, that's just the goal is to just prepare for the exam today. I just want to read for my upcoming exam. You are a lot less likely to do it than saying, okay, today by 8 p.m. after I finish eating, I'm going to spend 20 minutes reading for the exam. I'm not just going to read, I'm going to read physics question 1 to 30, the year, past question year 2020, and I'm going to do that for just 20 minutes today. You are a lot more likely, like, it's a lot more obvious and specific. And of course, the first part of all this is to actually have the intention to do it. If you don't have the intention to do it, then you're not going to do it anyway. Even if you say you are going to do it right now, you have the intention to do it, and you actually, like, show up to do it. Like, it's one thing that will help you to be consistent a lot. At least it has helped me a lot. I noticed many times in my life when I was the most consistent at stuff, one of the things that helped a lot was, like, there was a particular time and a particular place for that thing. So just like the workout example, when I was telling you earlier, back then too, it was just like 4 a.m, 4:30. Once I wake up 4 o'clock, 4:30, I just know it's time to work out. Like, that's just workout time. And if I didn't wake up 4 o'clock, 4:30, the chance of me working out that day was very, very low. So 4 o'clock, 4:30, workouts, and that was just the time. Like, just work. Like, so basically have a specific time and a specific place. I feel like another thing again also is to identify the main activity instead of just trying to become productive. Like, kind of find out what is most important to you. Find out what is most important, or at least what you want to be doing at that time. Like, for me, for example, in the evening now, is recording these videos. I don't do it every single day, but most of the time I do it. And of course, sometimes I record during the day, maybe not in the evening or whatever. But it's obvious. Instead of just saying be productive, just do deep work. It's obvious, like, record videos, do push-ups, and do it at this particular time. I also feel like it's also better if you tie to something that is natural that you're going to do anyway. So, for example, something like waking up. So I know immediately I wake up, I just do push-ups. And that one is something like eating. Maybe there's a course you are struggling to finish, like a boring course that you are supposed to watch, a boring lecture or something like that you're supposed to watch, and it's very hard for you to just sit down and watch it. Well, literally just start to something like eating. Like, when I'm eating my food, I'm going to watch this course, because, like, you're inevitably going to eat. Like, the day is probably not going to pass you by without you eating anything. So when you eat, you watch a lecture, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, like, you watch that lecture. So that's just one thing that helps me. Hopefully it helps you out as well.